From the moment humanity first gazed at the stars, we dreamed of exploring them, of discovering alien worlds and forging alliances with distant civilizations. Yet never in our wildest imagination did we foresee an empire so vast, so technologically superior, that our existence would become a mere footnote in their grand design. That empire, the Zenith Dominion, regarded Earth with cold amusement, convinced our primitive planet could never pose a threat to their cosmic rule. In their eyes, we were little more than children tinkering with crude machines, boasting of a bravery they deemed hollow. How wrong they were! On a quiet morning in midsummer, Major Leah Grant strode across the tarmac of a secret airfield hidden deep in the deserts of the American Southwest. She was tall, with a wiry strength that came from years of training, her olive-green flight suit bearing a single patch, the insignia of Project Vanguard. This hush-hush initiative was the last hope of Earth's Defense Council, a collection of prototypes so advanced they bordered on the impossible. Despite the swirling rumors, even the most optimistic scientists doubted that Earth's fledgling technology could stand against the Dominion's godlike power. Leah's boots kicked up clouds of dust as she approached a massive hangar that dwarfed everything around it. Inside, she was greeted by the sight of Earth's crown jewel, the X-9 Paladin. This experimental war machine combined the best of humanity's innovations, reverse-engineered alien tech, advanced AI, and an unbreakable alloy derived from meteorite samples. It resembled a sleek, angular aircraft the length of a small passenger jet, with thrusters that glowed in electric blue patterns, a color that somehow managed to look both mesmerizing and ominous. Engineers and technicians scurried around it like ants, calibrating every system, rechecking every bolt. In the early days, the Dominion had discovered Earth through a fluke. One of their scout vessels happened upon our solar system, scanning for resources. Their initial reports labeled us technologically infantile, an easy conquest should the Empire choose to extend its dominion. And so the Zenith Dominion, in its infinite arrogance, broadcast a message across the stars: surrender your world, or we will obliterate it. They showed no hurry, however. They believed Earth had no means to resist. Our only hope lay in these prototypes that no one outside Project Vanguard had ever laid eyes upon. Leah had never thought of herself as extraordinary. She'd grown up on a family ranch, learned how to fix trucks and pilot old biplanes on dust-swept runways. She enlisted in the Air Force at 18, hoping to see the world, and perhaps beyond it. Little did she know how far beyond would truly go. Her commanding officers recognized her rare combination of calm under pressure and raw piloting talent. Before she turned 25, she was tapped for covert programs rumored to be building Earth's first starfighter. Now at 30, she was leading the mission no one dared speak about. Each night, she prayed that her courage would be enough. That morning, as she walked around the X-9 Paladin, the old pang of doubt gnawed at her heart. The Dominion had dispatched an entire battle fleet, a single dreadnought and 3 cruisers, accompanied by smaller escort ships. They were rumored to be unstoppable, having subdued dozens of star systems. The official Earth broadcasts had tried to remain calm, but panic had seeped into every home, every conversation. People whispered, "We can't stand up to them. We're doomed." Yet, inside this secret hangar, a different kind of hush prevailed, the kind of silence that precedes the biggest leaps of faith. Leah stepped into the cockpit, a snug, futuristic capsule lined with holographic displays. Her flight helmet, custom-built with neural links, hummed to life. As the engines roared, the ground beneath her vibrated with a power she'd never felt in any conventional aircraft. The desert sun glinted off the Paladin's angular hull as she taxied onto a makeshift runway, awaiting final clearance from control. The moment the tower gave the go-ahead, she ignited the thrusters, and the X-9 Paladin shot forward with a force that pinned her to the seat. The plane soared into the stratosphere in seconds, clouds rushing past in a blur. Leah's heart hammered against her ribs, but her mind remained steady. She had trained for this moment. Once she cleared the upper atmosphere, a second stage of the Paladin's engine system kicked in, allowing her to breach the boundary between Earth and space. The blackness of the cosmos yawned before her. She caught a glimpse of the curvature of Earth behind her, the swirling blues and greens of home a stark contrast to the emptiness beyond. Then the comm crackled with the voice of Commander Novak, the head of Project Vanguard. Major Grant, are you ready for Phase 2? Leah swallowed hard, steeling herself. Ready as I'll ever be, sir. Phase 2 involved the advanced jump drive integrated into the Paladin's core, a system so experimental that even the top scientists weren't sure if it would hold together. But there was no time for hesitation. The Dominion fleet was already in high orbit, scanning Earth's defenses. With a flick of a switch, the Paladin's jump drive whirred to life, and the entire craft vibrated as though it might tear itself apart. Then, in a brilliant flash of blue-white energy, Leah vanished from Earth's sky. She reappeared near the dark side of the moon, her instruments indicating multiple unidentified vessels in the vicinity. There, silhouetted against the lunar horizon, loomed the Dominion dreadnought, a behemoth bristling with spires and weapon arrays that dwarfed anything humanity had ever constructed. Flanking it were the 3 cruisers, each the size of a city. The moment her sensors locked onto them, Leah felt a chill snake down her spine. It was one thing to read about them, another to see them up close. She was a lone pilot in an untested prototype, facing an armada that had conquered worlds. Still, there was no turning back. If the Paladin could prove its worth, perhaps Earth stood a chance. If not, she tried not to dwell on that possibility. Taking a slow, measured breath, she activated the Paladin's cloaking field. A shimmering wave passed over the hull, bending light around the craft. If all went well, she would be invisible to Dominion sensors, at least for a short while. Her orders were clear: gather intel, probe for weaknesses, and, if an opportunity arose, strike a blow to show the Dominion that Earth was no easy prey. But as she maneuvered closer, weaving through debris fields and the remains of ancient lunar satellites, the dreadnought sensors suddenly pivoted in her direction. In that instant, Leah's heart froze. The Dominion's technology was more advanced than anyone on Earth had predicted. A wave of energy pulsed from the dreadnought's central spire, sweeping across space like a cosmic searchlight. The Paladin systems flickered in alarm that she'd been detected. Control, they see me, Leah whispered into her helmet mic, her voice betraying a hint of panic. Static hissed in response. The jump to lunar orbit had severed direct communication lines. She was on her own. In a flash of brilliant blue, the Dominion cruisers launched swarms of fighter drones, sleek, menacing constructs with thrusters that glowed a deep purple. They cut through the vacuum of space like sharks scenting blood in the water. Leah clenched the joystick, adrenaline surging through her veins. The Paladin's AI chirped, highlighting multiple incoming targets. She had mere seconds to react. Her training took over. She rolled the Paladin, diving away from the wave of drones, unleashing bursts of plasma fire. The experimental cannon spat arcs of superheated energy that glowed with electric intensity. To her relief, the drones exploded on impact, indicating that while the Dominion was advanced, they were not invincible. But more drones poured from the cruisers, a relentless tide that threatened to overwhelm her. The Paladin's cloak fizzled, drained by the sudden bursts of high-energy maneuvers. What followed was a frantic dogfight across the dark side of the moon. Leah's hands danced over the controls, her mind locked in a state of razor-sharp focus. Each evasive roll, each shot fired, felt like walking a tightrope between life and death. The Dominion drones moved in coordinated patterns, attempting to encircle her. Yet the Paladin's maneuverability, combined with Leah's instincts, kept her one step ahead. For every volley of plasma she unleashed, 2 or 3 drones disintegrated into cosmic dust. But the numbers were on the Dominion side. She couldn't hold out forever. Amid the chaos, a new threat emerged. One of the cruisers angled its colossal hull, a segment opening to reveal a weapon that glowed with an unearthly brilliance. The Paladin's AI blared warnings. This was some kind of high-energy beam, capable of obliterating entire fleets. Leah realized in horror that they were done toying with her. They intended to erase her and the Paladin from existence in one catastrophic blast. She had only seconds to act. Heart pounding, she targeted the cruiser's weapon system. The Paladin's onboard AI calculated a narrow window of opportunity. If she could land a direct hit on the weapon's power core as it charged, it might overload. But it would require pinpoint accuracy, and the slightest deviation would mean her end. With a steadiness that belied her racing pulse, Leah guided the targeting reticle over the flickering core. The drones continued to harass her, scoring glancing hits on the Paladin's shields, but she held her course. She squeezed the trigger. A lance of brilliant plasma streaked across the void, striking the cruiser.